بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. So today's lesson is about قاعدة الإرشاد, guidance, one of the jurisprudential maxims that is named al-irshad, to guide. What do we mean by to guide? It becomes mandatory for a scholar or for someone who has knowledge, sufficient knowledge, to teach the ahkam, to teach the religious rulings to one who is described as being jahil, ignorant or unaware. He doesn't know. And what do we teach him? Do we teach him everything? Do we teach him the hukm or mawdu'? What's the difference between them? Hukm is the ruling, the halal and the haram. This is halal, this is haram. Mawdu' is the subject. So halal and haram definitely I have to teach. But is this also included the subject? What does subject mean here?
Meaning the concepts. No.
The subject means that, let's say there is a bottle. There is something in this bottle. Do I have to tell the person that there is wine in this bottle, or there is, let's say, what they call it, the other one, not the wine.
The alcohol.
No. No. The wine is transferred into vinegar.
Yeah.
Do I have to tell people about that? Do I have to tell them, Salaam alaikum, the mawdu'? Do I have to tell them that this desk is najis, impure? Or this carpet is impure? Do I have to tell them that?
No, it's not necessary.
Ha.
Based on other.
Haj Nadeem.
Yeah.
Some scholars, they say, certain subjects which are very critical, you have to tell. Others that are not very critical, you don't tell them. You don't have to tell them. And we will come to that subject. But where does this maxim, where does it taken from? Taken from what ayah? Ayah is Surah Al-Tawbah, chapter 9, verse 122. فَلَوْلَا نَفَرَ, a very famous ayah in the Quran, which is nicknamed Ayatul Nafr. Ayatul Nafr. Ayatul Nafr, which is 9, 122. Nafr is what? Nafr is to go forth. Nafr is to mobilize, galvanize, to leave, to be discharged. These are the meaning of nafr. What does the Quran say? Quran say all the believers in this verse cannot go and be specialists in religion. Some of them are farmers, some of them are carpenters, some of them are laborers, some of them are health workers. So we can't expect all people to leave their jobs and go and study fiqh. But فَلَوْلَا نَفَرَ مِنْ كُلِّ فِرْقَةٍ مِّنْهُمْ طَائِفَةٌ. Why shouldn't a party, why should not a party from each group, a party from each group, small party from each group, they go, because the entire group cannot make it. They cannot leave their businesses, their families, and go study 5 years or 10 years and become a specialist, because they have to take care of, the society. So why should not a party from each group go forth to gain understanding in religion? Understanding, meaning to be a specialist. فَلَوْلَا نَفَرَ مِنْ كُلِّ فِرْقَةٍ مِّنْهُمْ طَائِفَةٌ, a party, لِيَتَفَقَّهُ فِي الدِّينِ, to gain understanding and speciality in religion. وَلْيُنذِرُوا قَوْمَهُم. So once they graduate, they study, they come back to warn their people, to teach their people. وَلْيُنذِرُوا قَوْمَهُمْ إِذَا رَجَعُوا إِلَيْهِمْ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَحْذَرُونَ. So the people should be aware or beware of religion. They know what is mandatory, what is forbidden. They know their duty. So those group, those party, they should go learn. They come back to teach. The reason why we want them to go and learn, to come back to teach, not just to sit there and do nothing. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَحْذَرُونَ. So this is قاعدة الإرشاد. The maxim of guidance is taken from this verse, that there must be in every village, in every country, in every society, there must be some people who go forth to study, to specialize, to go to the seminary, to study. So when they come back, of course the Quran does not say seminary. It doesn't say seminary. It says to go to study, wherever it is, a college, university, seminary, but they have to study religion. لِيَتَفَقَّهُ فِي الدِّينِ. تفقه. Tafaqquh is not a surface studying. It's an in-depth studying. Tafaqquh comes faqih. So they have to go and study. So when they come back, they teach, they guide their congregations. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَحْذَرُونَ. So, do you think that this ayah, the wording of this ayah, it means that it is mandatory? Irshad becomes, guidance becomes mandatory or voluntary? If I will teach. If I don't, I don't teach.
How did the beginning of the ayah go?
فَلَوْلَا نَفَرَ. Why shouldn't? This is exactly the translation. Why shouldn't a party from each group means each society, each country, go forth, nafara, go forth, to gain understanding in religion, to specialize in religion. لِيَتَفَقَّهُ فِي الدِّينِ وَلِيُنذِرُوا, so they can come back and وَلِيُنذِرُوا, to tell people. Indhar means warning. Warning means teachings, means guidance. وَلْيُنذِرُوا قَوْمَهُمْ إِذَا رَجْعُوا إِلَيْهِمْ, once they go back to their congregations, to their villages, their countries. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَحْذَرُونَ, so their people, they will be aware. They know religion. They understand religion. They know their duties, what to do, what not to do.
It's not, just from the beginning of the ayah, it's not voluntary. This is a request.
Yeah, I think it's mandatory.
Mhm.
Because without guidance, a community can go astray. Right?
Exactly. Because fuqaha, they say, we understand that this is mandatory because لِإِبْقَاءِ الشَّرِيعَةِ, to keep the sharia, to keep religion alive. Otherwise, if no one is teaching sharia, no one is teaching religion to people, then Sharia is going to die. Who's going to teach next generation? And we can see this in America. In non-Islamic countries, if you don't send your son, your daughter to an Islamic school, to Sunday school, to Saturday school, to the mosque, definitely after 3, 4, 5 years, they grow knowing nothing about their religion. Zero knowledge. Some of them, they become anti-religion, anti-Islam. I've seen some of them anti-Islam. Because they didn't study. Their parents did not spend time. They were careless. They were only concerned about the well-being, financial well-being, economic well-being, physical, material well-being, not the mental, not the intellectual, not the spiritual. They lost their children. So, لإبقاء الشريعة المقدسة وهو من ضروريات الدين. One of the necessities of religion is that to keep teaching. If you don't teach, people get lost. People don't know what is Islam. So this is one. So we have one of the madrak is this ayah, Ayatul Nafr. Okay? The other ayah they use beside this ayah is Ayatul Su'al. What is Ayatul Su'al, my friends? We studied Ayatul Su'al. The ayah of asking. Su'al means asking. Chapter 3, Surah Al-Imran.
What's the ayah say?
فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Therefore, go ask the people of knowledge if you do not know. Go ask. You can't say to God, I didn't know. He says there were people, experts next to you. Why didn't you knock at their door? Why didn't you ask them?
Do then they use it also for the akhlaq as
Akhlaq, but also for everything. But most importantly for religion. Because فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ. Dhikr is the Quran. Quran. It could be used for everything, even physics. Okay? Even physics, even medicine. But when it says فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ, أهل الذِّكْر here, the people of the Quran. Go and ask them to know your religion.
Didn't we say?
Yes, that is the specific meaning. But you can use it, the specific Ahlul Dhikr are the rabbis, the people of the previous, people of the scriptures. But you can use it, that is the tafsir of it. The ta'wil Imam al-Sadiq says, نحن أهل الذكر. We are the family of dhikr. So that is the tafsir and we have the ta'wil. So
What ayah number said? Sorry, it was
Surah Al-Imran, let me, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ وَالزُّبُرِ. It is Nahl 16:43. 16:43. Okay? So these are the ayat. Then we come to riwayat, and there are many riwayat here. I'll take only one as an example. صحيحة عيسى بن منصور عن أبي عبد الله الصادق. This صحيحة عن الصادق عليه السلام. What does he say? He says يجب, it is mandatory للمؤمن على المؤمن أن يناصحه. It is incumbent upon a believer to guide his believer brother or sister. Nasiha is what here? Nasiha. Yunasihahu from nasiha. Nasiha. نصيحة إلى إرشاده إلى مصالح دينه ودنياه وتعليمه إذا كان جاهلا. To teach him the fundamentals of religion. That is the first step of nasiha. First step of nasiha is to tell him what is halal and what is haram, what is forbidden and what is mandatory. That's the first stage of nasiha. And then after that, he can tell him things that are recommended, things that are mustahab. But the first thing, he has to teach him things that are wajib, mandatory. Now, my friends, if you look closely at this maxim, which is called the maxim Qa'idatul Irshad, the maxim of guidance, don't we have something similar to it in our religion? One of the principles of our religion. What is it? Furu' ad-din, part of Furu' ad-din, not usul ad-din, not the fundamentals, but the furu'. Furu', salat, prayers, fasting, hajj, almsgiving, jihad, blah, 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 blah. What else? What else? Exactly. Al-amr bil-ma'ruf, enjoining the good and forbidding the evil. So this is the same, isn't it? Maxim of guidance. Is it exactly the same like amr bil-ma'ruf and nahi anil munkar? What do you think?
Amr bil Ma'ruf is anybody can, he has certain knowledge.
He doesn't have to be alim, a scholar, or a specialist.
Yeah. This encompasses more.
This one is wider,
More knowledgeable.
more knowledgeable. What else? What is the difference between them?
This is saying more about teaching versus learning and passing on teaching versus that one is more about implementation.
That one is about nahi anil munkar. Prevent him when he's doing something wrong only, not lecturing him. If you see him doing something wrong, he's about to do something wrong, stop him, prevent him. This one is more encompassing. This one, teach him religion. Even if he's not doing something wrong, but he's not knowing his religion. He's not doing something wrong, but he doesn't know his religion. So this is more general. That one, amr bil ma'ruf, nahi anil munkar, when someone is going to do bad, you prevent him. This one is, he doesn't know his religion. He's not necessarily doing something. He's sitting at home, relaxing, not hurting anyone, not transgressing against anyone. But he doesn't know religion. So you have to tell him. So this one is much wider than amr bil ma'ruf and nahi anil munkar. Now, let's come to this question. This maxim is related to ahkam, hukum, ruling. Meaning that tell him he doesn't know that the prayers are mandatory. So you have to tell him we have 5 daily prayers that are mandatory. He doesn't know that he has to do wudu. He doesn't know. He thinks just people wash their face and then go up. Tell him no, there is wudu. And wudu has certain order, specific order. He doesn't know about the fasting. He thinks that one day he can fast in Ramadan, one day you have to tell him. He doesn't know about khums. He doesn't know about zakat. He doesn't know about hajj. So you are telling him the what? The hukum. What is halal and what is haram. He doesn't know that wine, let's say, he doesn't know that wine is forbidden. Doesn't. He doesn't know that fornication is forbidden. He doesn't know that gambling is forbidden. So you have to tell him these things that are. He doesn't know usury, riba is forbidden. Teach him what is forbidden in religion. So we are teaching him the rulings, ahkam, rulings, ahkam. So definitely this maxim is for rulings. But is it also, my friends, if you look at me for 1 second, is it also for the subjects? We have to teach people the subject. What is the subject? The subject, I gave an example. There is a bottle. And he thinks that there is vinegar in this bottle or apple cider. But then I know, no, this is wine. So should I go and tell him, no, don't touch this? This is called subject. He knows that wine is forbidden, he knows. But he doesn't know about the nature of this bottle. He thinks that what is in this bottle is lawful. He can drink it, he can consume it. Or he's about to buy an ice cream, but I know there is something, there is alcohol, let's say, liquor, or in this chocolate, or in this ice cream, or in this. Should I go and tell him, is it mandatory upon me to go and in the supermarket stand there and tell people, no, don't touch these bottles?
It's too detailed, too much, you can't.
Is it wajib, mandatory? I'm asking, is it mandatory?
For a Muslim, to advise another Muslim.
Yes. And tell him the rulings, yes. To tell him, if he doesn't know if he doesn't know that wine is forbidden, yes, I have to tell him wine is haram. This is wajib. But is it also mandatory to tell him that, listen, this bottle is wine, this is not vinegar?
Well, are you asking about anything in the world
Anything.
that is good?
Anything, any subject.
You can't.
Should I explain it to them? Or let's say this carpet, there is najasa, impurity on this carpet. And you are about to pray here, okay? Do I have to tell you?
Well, if you
I am not a seller, I am not neither a seller or a buyer. I am someone who lived in this room, or he was before you in this room. And he knows there is najasa in this room. He knows that there was impurity on this desk. Do I have a religious duty to tell you, the successor who is coming to sit on this desk, do I have to tell him?
if you are asked about, but
No,
because
I am not asked about.
Okay.
I'm
so
not
by
asked
your
about.
own action.
Yes, yeah.
you
Do I
know
have to
what-
initiate and tell people about
I
it?
think it's difficult.
No.
How you can do that?
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not
No.
incumbent? So if I come here to
It's not
pray,
mandatory.
and you know that there's najasa, you don't have
No.
to say, hey, you're
No.
praying on urine.
No, I don't have to tell you.
Wow.
I might tell you, but if I don't tell you, it's not a sin upon me. I have not committed a sin if I didn't tell you. I don't have a duty to tell you. However, only in 2 areas that we have to tell, because these are critical areas. What are they, Dr. Ali? These 2 areas that we have to tell people about the subject so they don't mistook that with something else. One of them, blood. How is that? If I find someone who's running after someone else thinking that someone else is the criminal, by mistake, he thinks, and he is about to shoot him and murder him. And I know that the one who's running is not the criminal. He's not. I know, I saw the crime. I'm sure that he's innocent. Now, should I save his life by telling the person, listen, you are running after the wrong person. He's not the criminal. Someone who committed murder is someone else. He ran away. This is innocent. Should I or shouldn't I?
Yes.
Though here it is related to the subject mawdu', not hukum. This is mawdu', but I have to interfere because this is about the blood. This is about saving life. I can't pull myself away and say, well, because it's not mandatory on me, let him kill him. No. Because I have to save the life. Once I tell him, I am preventing a murder here. This is one. What is the second beside the blood?
Adultery or marriage.
Yeah, marriage. Yeah. Marriage. If someone, he met a lady, he doesn't know her, or he knows her, but he doesn't know the details. But I know this lady very well, and I know her family, and I know she's related to him. She's his niece, but he doesn't know because he didn't live in that country, in that society. He doesn't know that this is his niece because he has many aunts and uncles. He has many nieces and nephews. He doesn't know them very well, but I know. Should I tell him here, don't marry her? Because this is your niece, or I say, I'm, free country, I don't interfere. Which one?
You have to tell them.
Definitely I have to tell him. Because he's going to commit incest. Not fornication, incest. Nikahul maharim, incest. Or this is his wife's sister. This is his sister-in-law. He doesn't know about that. He doesn't know that his sister, his wife, has another sister. Maybe they are 20 sisters scattered everywhere. And he's about to marry her not knowing while he's married to her sister. Now, if he divorces the first one, he can marry the sister later on. But while he's keeping this one, he wants to marry her sister. And he knows the hukum. He knows that it is forbidden to marry his wife's sister. He knows that. But he doesn't know the subject. He doesn't know that this is his wife's sister. So in that case also I have to tell him. So blood and marriage. These two things that we have to tell, we have to guide, we have to speak about. We have a duty here. Now, one last mas'ala when it comes to this guidance. If I'm a mujtahid and I'm giving you the masail and you follow me, and one day something was halal, I kept telling you this is halal, now I revised this. Sometimes the mujtahideen, they revise the mas'ala and he changes his mind. So after 20 years, now I say, no, this is ihtiyat, stay away, or haram. Should I come back and tell you about the second opinion?
Yeah,
Of course. I am representing a mujtahid. I'm not the mujtahid himself. I'm reading the masail on his behalf. Okay? And you asked me about the mas'ala in the past, which was halal. Now I know the mujtahid has changed his opinion, his fatwa. You don't know about that. I know. I received the letter, I spoke to him, I saw the fatwa, but you have no access to the fatwa. Should I also tell you? I am not the mujtahid. I am representing him. I am speaking on his behalf. I am just conveying his opinion, his fatwa. Should I have a responsibility to come and tell you that the mujtahid changed his fatwa? Is this part of the maxim of guidance? Or no?
You are still considered as knowledgeable of it. So you have to.
Knowledgeable or someone ordinary, but he knows the fatwa. He told you about the previous one, and depending on him, on what he told you, you are following that opinion. But now the opinion has changed. Does he have a responsibility to come and tell you, listen, that mujtahid, he changed his mind? Does he have a responsibility, or he says, well, I don't care, let them. Yes, this falls under the guidance. Mandatory to tell them, because if you don't tell them, this is misleading. This becomes misguidance.
But how about the guided one? He has to take the action also to because he's following the mujtahid. He has also to keep
But
up
sometimes, see in Hajj, this happens in Hajj. Some of the mujtahideen, they keep changing their fatwas. So not all people know the details. Some of these details are very small because in Hajj there are thousands of actions, thousands. The books of Hajj are this thick. Only few people know when the fatwa is changed. Ordinary people, they have no access. Only few selected ones they know. So those selected ones, they have to tell the people. They have to tell them this falls under the maxim of guidance. We come to another maxim. What time is it? Yeah, we have a few minutes. We come to another, or leave it for tomorrow, or we take another one. What do you think? Another one, quick, yes. Another one is called Isqatul Haqq. Isqatul Haqq. Relinquishing your right. Isqatul Haqq. Forfeiting. Isqat al-Haqq. Which means to forfeit or to relinquish or to give up. To give up your right. Or in some cases to drop the charges. This maxim states that every person who has rights, he can drop these rights, he can relinquish them. Such as what? Such as Haqqul Khayar. See, in fiqh, when you purchase something from someone, you have up to 3 days to return. Return policy. Up to 3 days. Okay? Sometimes, as long as you are sitting in the same session, you have not left the session. If you purchase a house, you gave him the money, you signed, you are sitting in the same session, you change your mind. Someone comes and says, hey, why did you buy this house? This is very, very expensive. I found another one. Or a car or something else. So while you are sitting in the session, you can return. Return policy. This is an Islamic concept. The return policy that we have it here in the West, it's an Islamic. Though in Muslim countries, they don't use it. They say, they put a sign, once you buy, no return, no exchange, no. That's it.
As soon as you exit the door.
As soon as you give him the money, not the exit. Once you give him the money, that's it. They don't apply this Islamic concept. So someone says, I forgo this, relinquish my rights. Does he have the right to do that or not? Yes, he has the right. He says, this is my right, I don't want to use it. This is one. Haqqul Khayar, this is Khayar. What is the second one? Haqqul Awlawiyya. You have the priority to this. Such as what? Can you give me an example? We said it last week, in fact, when we were discussing a husband divorcing his wife 3 times. Then she can marry another person, okay? Then after that another person divorces her, Quran says, وَبُعُولَتُهُنَّ أَحَقُّ بِرَدِّهِنْ. Her first husband has a priority to bring her back. Let's say she's beauty queen, Dr. Ali. These examples, you enjoy them. She's a beauty queen, okay? And because she's a beauty queen, she is arrogant. Every day she fights with her husband. And then he divorced her 3 times. So she cannot go back to him. But every time he divorces her, he loves her, she's a beauty queen. He could not take her back. She married someone else. Now that guy also divorced her. But there are waiting lists. There is waiting lists. Some people standing in line, 10 people, they want to marry her. Who has the awlawiyya, the priority to marry her after her second husband divorces her? Who?
First one.
The first one. This is حق الأولوية, priority right, Dr. Ali. This is an example of a priority right. He has the right to marry her. But then can he drop this right? Of course you can drop this. I don't want to use this right. Let her go to hell. حق الاختصاص. اختصاص, it means that this is an exclusive right that you have. Such as what? Belongs to you. This thing belongs to, there are so many people, but this one belongs to that person. اختصاص. Exclusive to that person. Such as what?
Like a house or a car or.
In what condition? Huh?
Oh,
Or the condition.
In what state? House, yeah, but in what? Give me an example.
That's in borrowing or?
Hereditary.
Inheritance. Inheritance, the oldest son has an exclusive right to some items of his father, like the ring, like the cane, like other things. So he takes them. They are not part of inheritance. They are given to the oldest son because he's the oldest son. So can he drop that right and says, no, I'm just like you guys. I'm not going to take his ring and his cane and his pen and his book and his... Can he do that? Of course. Any person can relinquish his right. Where is this? This is found in Quran in 3. The Madrak is a 3:134. 3:134. وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظِ, those who curb the rage. وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ, those who pardon people. Afin, pardon. Pardon, they pardon. They have right over people and they pardon it. So this is one. The second one is Surah Shura. Shura is 42, verse 40. وَجَزَاءُ سَيِّئَةٍ سَيِّئَةٌ مِثْلُهَا. The recompense of an evil is an evil like unto it. If someone does evil to you, you can do evil unto him. Jaza.
The same.
Same.
Right.
But the Quran says at the same time, فَمَنْ عَفَى وَأَصْلَحَ فَأَجْرُهُ عَلَى اللَّهِ. But yet, whoever pardons and sets matters right, his reward is going to be with God. God says you have the right to revenge. You have the right to recompense, to do evil in return. But it's better to drop your charges, to forgive. This is better. And we will give you the reward from us. فَمَنْ عَفَى وَأَصْلَحَ فَأَجْرُهُ. We will give you the reward. So you have the right, but you can drop your rights. And then of course there are hadith in this regard. Now, there is one difference. Sometimes we have hukm, and we studied this, and sometimes we have haqq. Hukm and haqq. Haqq is your personal right. Hukm, it's about general, not personal. Something to do with the society. Something communal. So the haqq, I can drop my haqq because this is my private right. I can relinquish it. I can give up on it. But hukm, if the judge, the hakim al-shar'i, he orders a hukm, can that hukm be dropped?
By whom?
By me?
By somebody else?
Yes. I'll give you an example. someone who is murderer. He terrorizes people. He spreads mischief in the land, in the society. He brings terror to people's home. He murdered my son. I have the right to drop the charges against him. If they bring him to justice and they sentence him to death, I say, I am waliyuddam. I am the wali, the guardian of my son. So I don't want this guy to be murdered. He will give diya instead. But if the judge comes and he says, listen, this is not a personal murder. This is not an ordinary crime. This guy, yes, he murdered your son, but at the same time, he spreads terror in the community. He's terrorizing people. He's bringing fear into this whole neighborhood, whole city. People did not sleep for so many days, women, mother, wives, because of him. So the damage outgrew your family. It's not only within your family and yourself, the whole society. So the judge orders him to be sentenced to death. This is hukm. Even if I drop the charges, this is hukm, because this has to do with the society, not just the family. This is not personal anymore. It's a societal issue. It's for the general welfare of the community. So here the judge has the right to say no. He has to be murdered. The damage was not limited to you. He damaged the whole society. He has to be a lesson to the whole society. So that's the difference between hukm. Hukm cannot be dropped. Hukm cannot be dropped. Hukm has to be executed. Whereas haq can be dropped and given away, or An example of haq. If someone damages the finger of someone else, in this case, he did that on purpose. On purpose, he took a knife and he cuts the finger of someone else. Can the victim give up his right? Meaning, the judgment here, the ruling here is that you can cut off his finger, same way. But can the victim say, no, I forgive him? Can he say this or not?
Yes. Yeah.
Personal damage, yes, I say no, please don't. But when I forgive him and I drop the charges, I give up on the charges, isqatul haq. Can I come later on and ask for recompense? Retaliation? Can I do that or not? What do you think, Dr. Ali?
I think it...
Then I find out, oh, this is a finger, this is not something. So I regret. I thought in the beginning I can replace it, but now it's not.
That's a hard question. I mean, I think, I want to say you can't ask, but what about if later somebody finds out it affects his job? He wasn't thinking, but now he finds that it does indeed affect his job. But my answer is no, you can't come back. But how about in those senses,
You can't come back. Maybe you raised something important. Maybe he was emotional, he was intimidated.
He's in pain, right?
He wasn't in pain, he didn't know the consequence, because people after a few weeks they start recovering,
Yeah.
Immediately after the incident, they might not,
Like a car accident. Some people may not feel something right away, but...
Yeah, but here still, he cannot cut off. He can ask for more compensation, yes. وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل